And we live. Hey guys, welcome to my channel, Watch on My Reviews. This is your boy James, where I am here to give my honest review while trying to watch my mouth. It's not gonna happen this video, but we'll live to fight another day. Joining me as always is my co-host, Mrs. Beth. Y'all say what's up to her.
Hello, everybody. Welcome in. Like, subscribe, comment your opinions.
Yes, please comment your opinions, join the live, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to both channels. So any reviews or recaps I don't cover on my channel, such as Love and Hip Hop Atlanta and Miami and Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, that's all on Mrs. Best's channel. So if you guys want to see that, definitely go over to her channel. She has a playlist for y'all. And then we go live this week where we talk about the most recent episodes. You don't want to miss it. Hello, 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 Shani. Thank you for being here with us today. We appreciate you. We
Hello.
hope everybody come up on this live, y'all. So this was Married to Medicine, y'all. This was a good episode just because it irked my nerves. It was so stupid that I just couldn't help but laugh at everything that I saw. So the episode actually opens up with Toya. Her, Eugene, and the oldest boy, Ashton, were up in the kitchen, and she decides that she wants to have a baby shower. And I'm thinking, oh my God, Toya's pregnant. Oh my, because y'all know she had a miscarriage a couple of years ago. So I was really excited. And when this fool said for Stormy, and I'm like, and immediately, I don't know why my mind went to Love and Marriage Huntsville. I said, Stormy pregnant? And I had to think again. She said, the boy said it was for her Birkin bag. And I said, Toya, I know you're not throwing no baby shower, but a goddamn purse. Toya said she ain't never had no Birkin bag. It took her so many years to get one that she got one, and it's like a little baby to her. So damn it, she is having a baby shower for this Birkin bag. I said, wow. I never looked at Toya and Eugene to have disposable money. Like, I don't look at them and think they got disposable money, but when I tell y'all this was a waste of money. Someone like Kathy Hilton, yes, this can happen for. Somebody, any of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, with probably the exception of Garcelle and Dorit, this can happen for fine. But y'all don't have disposable money like this to be throwing no baby shower for no damn Birkin bag. Hi, Naya. Toya's reaction towards the end of the episode. Oh my God, I was that little boy the entire time. When I tell you he was cracking me up, I was laughing so hard because his facial expressions, he just like, what the hell? Like, my mama is crazy. I was laughing so hard. That like he made the whole episode. I'm telling you, it was his reaction. So y'all, the next thing we're gonna talk about, Toya wants to be Richie, but she do, and I don't understand for somebody who don't work and like somebody who has this luxury of spending, you would think she was as rich as Mrs. Rich, but she's not. Like, man, you got to work in order for you to be able to do these things. Like, you better hope this marriage.
It's like when you go to the welfare office back in the day and everybody in there being name brand designer from head to toe, all hoping and wishing for some food stamps and some general assistance. So Toya gives me that. She's not a good decision maker. I have said season after season, she is here to run her husband, who has a very good career that pays well, into the ground. Because you have a Birkin bag, but you just had to move out of the house that you built with your two-story closet because you couldn't pay your bills. Then y'all owed the government some seasons ago. You refused to get a job, so you bought a Birkin bag with Eugene's money. And then you had the audacity to have a baby shower for it, as if that it's giving new money.
No, it's given.
That small ass purse. It wasn't even a big Birkin. She got the basic, the cheapest model they got.
It
It's
was like
okay.
right, like I can't with Toy, and to say that purse was $31,000. Girl, you'd have lost your entire mind. But anyways, we gonna move on, y'all, because Toya, we gonna come back to this. We then have a scene over at Dr. Jackie's house. She has Heavenly, Quad, and Simone over, and they're going over the donations for the check they have to write to for Kira, for the guy who is the CEO of it. They proposed $100,000 check. So they're going over the list of all the items and everything, and they've come up short on a couple of items. and it was quad for me the way she was leaning her head in that wig, actually looking like the church lady who counts the collection plate. If y'all ever when y'all go to church, y'all cannot tell me that the lady who counts the collection plate don't have that same wig on every time. Y'all can't tell me that. So it was so funny because I couldn't take the scene seriously. So Dr. Chet, hold on. I don't think it would be a bigger. I did think it would be a bigger. I did too. I really did. I really thought she was gonna get like the one that looked like luggage, but she got that little itty bitty little clutch purse. Okay, but yeah. So Quad is going over the numbers and everything, and Jackie was telling her that somebody had retracted their $4,000 donation. And Quad looking down the list like, well, what item was $4,000? And Jackie didn't want to answer it because, Quad and Phaedra are friends. So she really didn't want to answer the question. But she said apparently there was a date being thrown around. And they put two and two together. And they flashed back to the scene where the man said, yes, he would give the money for a date with Phaedra. Now, I feel like this. I didn't like this scene at all. And when Simone gets there, they imitate how this conversation is going to go between Dr. Jackie and Phaedra because Phaedra has not written that check out yet. And they are short. So Phaedra has to, I think they say Phaedra has to come up with like $51,000 in order for them to be able to make the $100,000 check. But I did not like this scene when it came to Phaedra. I really didn't. I thought they were being mean. I thought they were being really mean towards her because it was like, yeah, I get the man retracted the date, but I feel like, and this is my opinion, I feel like that man already gave Phaedra $4,000 and then woke up and was like, oh no, I can't keep doing this. So let me stop. Because y'all remember, when Phaedra first came on to Married to Medicine, they were saying that Phaedra, Dr. G, she proposed Dr. G had to pay her $4,000 a month in order to keep continuing to date her. So I feel like that man probably did it already, and that's why he didn't want to do it again. That's just my personal opinion. Mrs. Best, how do you feel?
The whole scene was petty. It was stupid. Phaedra has her doctorate or something in the mortician world. She's got several businesses, a law firm, several careers. I do believe she has the money. She's also since posted receipts that she did write a check that cleared. Um, the only thing about this that was funny was Simone's impersonation of Phaedra because it was pretty spot on. But
Yeah,
as a whole, Jackie, this is the most money you ever rose at a Met Gala. Just stop.
yeah. Just regardless if Phaedra wrote the check or not, it's still the most money that you were able to raise, and she still did. Now, I get Dr. Heavenly has come out on lives to saying that Phaedra did not write the check fully, and that because the check was only 35,000.
Phaedra gave more than Toya and Eugene did at the first Met Gala. They didn't want to give nothing, but
No,
they
and I
got
agree with that.
31,000 for a Birkin.
No, I would just been grateful for the 35,000. Like if it were me, you guys, let me put myself in Jackie's situation. If it were me and Phaedra wrote me a check for $35,000, that's better than nothing at all. Because then I got to come up with the rest. That's how I would look at it. Like I would look at it like, okay, I got to come up with the rest of it. And it's not act like Dr. Jackie don't have it either. Dr. Jackie delivered every baby in Atlanta. I'm sure she can give the rest of that. What would that be like? Someone like $15,000. I'm sure Jackie could give that kind of money. Like, come on, let's not play like that. The only people I like on the show is Toya and a little bit of Contessa sprinkled with sweet tea. But I was so glad Phaedra ish on the ladies. I mean, I feel like this. I feel like for me, I didn't like how they did Phaedra because I kind of felt like that was mean because she did give something, regardless if it was the whole thing or part of it. That's still more than what y'all got in conclusion of this 100,000. Now, was Phaedra doing too much saying we could raise 100,000? Absolutely, because that's insane for any one night charity. That's insane. But at the same Shine, I just read. I was going to read your comment last, and I just got the wind of it. She brought the wine last season,
The
Mrs. Best.
company, the wine company, donated the wine. It gave her a coupon code so that they could get recognition on the television show. We have since not seen anything of it. And you can bring the wine and still donate if you got 31,000 for a Birkin.
Well, why
Toya and Eugene don't like to donate, but then they like to talk
talk,
about everybody
talk
else
about
and
everybody?
flaunt
Yeah.
what they got. It's
Mm-hmm.
like just have what you have. Be humble.
I from what I understand, this is allegedly. I heard Jackie gets her money up front before you deliver the babies, before the whole shot. I heard every service of Dr. Jackie, you got to have your money up front. I've heard that. I don't know how true it is. I'm saying allegedly. She actually donated the wine herself. They gave the wine to Toya. Um, a bit
That's
segment. That's
even
not how Napa.
worse.
That's not how Napa works.
It's not
It's not
at
how Napa
all.
works. Napa doesn't work like that. Toya did not donate that wine. What they do is they give Toya specifically a certain amount of bottles every single period for her to do what she did, which was promote the brand on the TV show. And all she has to do is call them and say she needs more because she has an event coming up where they're going to display a new episode of it. That's how Napa works. When you're telling them that this is a nationally syndicated television show that appears to Black people, which they have a problem with from that specific vineyard, that's why she did it. So, no, they,
But
yeah,
wine does not go to the cause in terms of actual money.
right.
Her and Eugene have avoided multiple seasons, and I'm not getting at them for that. But they trying to make a big deal off of Phaedra, who did
Hmm.
give 30K. But you've got somebody who's been on this cast season after season that doesn't generally give a lot of money. Nobody on this cast really has, with the exception of Contessa. Contessa seems to always be willing to bid and donate. So it's
Yes.
just weird that they gang up on Phaedra, but then they ain't ganged up on Toya and
Toya.
them.
Yes, exactly. I feel that same way. I feel like they kind of, well, one, they don't want to hear Toya's mouth. Phaedra's not going to give you all of that. Phaedra's not going to give you what Toya going to give you. Phaedra going to give you that child and shake the hell out you in her confessional and get ghost on you. That's what Phaedra does. Toya going to holler, scream, point her finger, and do everything else because that's what she does. They don't want to go through that anymore. So they're like, fine, let Toya do what she do, which is show up in the audience in the Black Morticia outfit and look cute. That's what Toya did, and I ain't mad at her. I don't begrudge her for it. But the last season, no, she was wrong for that, saying that she donated wine where I don't believe she, and because I know how Napa works, you don't have to pay for that when you're on a syndicated Black television show when they need to appease to the Black audience. That's how they do it. They never donate, and I don't understand that they should definitely be giving back. They do because they, honestly, for them to be able to move from house to house to house, and every house is bigger than the last one, they should be eternally grateful for their blessings and give back. I don't understand why they don't, but that's fine. But that was pretty much that thing, y'all. I didn't like how they did Phaedra. Like, I don't have a love hate relationship with Phaedra. I do. There's sometimes I love her and there's sometimes I hate her because I feel like Phaedra ain't shit at the end of the day. But at the same time, that doesn't mean that they need to be poking fun at her expense, especially if she did what she said she was going to, which was write a check. And I feel like if the check was short, then Dr. Jackie and Dr. Heavenly, y'all need to make up for what's lacking. You know, I'm just saying because something is better than nothing, and y'all both got it. It's not like y'all don't have the money. It's not like Dr. Jackie doesn't have the money to write the check for the difference. If y'all really want to get this man $100,000, that's all I'm saying. So and if it's other items that didn't make the cut, if Phaedra agreed to one number, that's what she should. I don't think that's what she paid, but if she agreed to it, then here's what is. To each his own. I mean, they're gonna handle it the way they handle it. We'll see how that ends up. The next thing we have is this couples dinner night with Sweet Tea, Dr. G, Dr. Simone and Cecil, Dr. Contessa and Dr. Scott, Dr. Mimi, who is the newest addition to the show, and her husband. I think his name is Steve. I could be wrong, but I believe that's his name. Handsome guy, beautiful woman. They seem to be okay for the most part. But Dr. Mimi, is another psychiatrist. She's really good friends with Sweetie and Dr. Greg. And they need another psychiatrist on the show from what Sweetie is explaining and everything. And when they're catching up, Sweetie mentions that she's been teaching classes about age gap dating. And the moment she said that, I said, not them having classes on age gap dating. What? I missed it out a lot. And so she mentions with the success of her teaching this class that she's going to have a speed dating little sermon seminar where she's going to invite some of Greg's friends who are older men and have them, mingle and see if we can create some, connections and everything. And they all think that this was going to be fun. Oh, You missing out of this day when if you have not seen this episode, you need to go watch it. It was hilarious to say the least. I'm still not over what Dr. Jackie said about the black woman. She gets off passes from me. Yeah, and I don't blame you for that. I don't, because that shit was horrible. It was really horrible. She found her market. I'm trying to tell you. But I was like, first off, it pays to be on reality TV. If y'all don't think so, it does. Because the fact that she can create an avenue for age gap dating and actually make this okay to do, I, I can't say nothing. But yes, So she's having, she's having a, seminar for her. She's going to put together a little cute little event. And Dr. Simone mentions that she will be throwing the couples trip this year again, because remember, she threw it last year, and it was a big problem last year because they went to Hilton Head where Curtis had his affairs. So to make sure she don't mess up this time again, she enlisted Dr. Heavenly to help her with that, and everybody at that table had a problem with it, mainly Sweet Tea and Contessa. They're like, why would you have her do the event and everything? And Dr. Simone says, well, Heavenly is really good at what she does when it comes to planning parties and events and trips. So I figured it would be great for her to help me with this based on my trip from last year. And, Contessa especially, she really wasn't feeling this. And it was like, I don't understand. Like, why would you want her? Like, you needed to have her in a space where we talk to her about it so we can kind of get some clarity. And I felt like, y'all need clarity for us a couples trip. Y'all act like y'all going, up in her house and having to sleep on her floor or something. It's not that big of a deal. Mrs. Best, how did you feel about this scene?
I, I, j- I just don't understand Sweet Tea. You could tell the show wants her to show more. But we know that Dr. G don't like his women to work. We know that Dr. G don't like that. We know that he prefer his woman to be at home. Sweet Tea, I think, is a flop. I was saying this to James. I like her, but she's not letting go of this heavenly thing. She's reacted last season like a whole child, not an actual 32-year-old adult. And we saw you say that you got with your man and you were happy to be in. The best part of being engaged was having a little bit of access to the money. So off rip. And then you also came in his DM with a baby emoji because you're ready to have babies that you know you can't have. So it felt more like she was teaching women how to gold dig, because I agreed with everything Toya said. And this is why I like Toya on this show. I know I give her a lot of shit, but I do feel like Toya fits the show because in confessionals and to these women's face, Toya go tell you the truth about yourself. Toya said in the confessional that Sweet Tea, nobody, why would they want to be with somebody older? Why? Other than the money. And I was so happy Toya called that out and pointed that out. She's like, they old, they get tired, they not gonna keep up with you. You're not gonna be able to do as much with them. The sex is impacted. Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. And I was glad Toya pointed that out. So she's trying
um,
to act like it's age gap, but you talking about it, it worked out for me. I want to share my method. You have to be strategic. You should never have to use that word when describing your love story. That to me is a red flag as a whole. So yeah, while people may like older men, I do acknowledge that because I have several friends that have dated. Some of them have found husbands that are 20 plus years older than him. However, Sweet Tea, this is not a, oh, I got with an older man and fell in love. This is a, y'all can be strategic and this is how you snatched him up. She's teaching these women how to gold dig.
Thank you. Yes, exactly.
And it's a
Um,
bad look because, as a bitch, they went into saying in the comments, there are a lot of women. One of my best friends has dated someone 23 to 20 something years older than her, and they're
mhm.
actually in love. He's a cool dude, all of that. But there's no gold digger situation. That man ain't rich and she ain't rich. They both work. And it's a
Yeah.
normal relationship aside from that big age gap. So there are some people who are in healthy age gap relationships, but the way that Sweet Tea sold this, you need to be strategic. You need to do
Yes, it's
this and
giving
that.
ulterior motives other
That's
than you finding
exactly.
somebody to love. And I wanted to address this comment. Oh, Sweet Tea have found out now she can't have any children. She has not come forward to say that. But what we're saying is we're skating across her initial motive, which is when she met him, she put a baby emoji. It says she's ready for a husband and kids. And the operative is that it's more challenging than what she put out.
She has known though that she's had endometriosis, and unfortunately a large percentage of women that have it as severe as she does struggle with fertility. If she has kids, honestly it's probably better on her body and on her spouse to just go through surrogacy, but I don't know if they're going to go that route. But she was not fully honest with Greg about
Hmm.
what it would take to get to the kid. So now she's talking about being strategic. And I'm just like, sweet tea, you are a smart woman. And that's the sad thing. She was in the military. She's actually
Right.
intelligent. There's a lot of strength within her, but she chooses to show this bullshit. I'm
Yeah.
like, girl,
Well, let's not forget a lot of women do like older men, especially the women who didn't have a daddy. But in her instance, she did have a daddy, and it makes me feel like I want to see that dynamic because something about her story is inauthentic. When you think about making somewhat okay of a decision to marry somebody who could actually conceive you, it's really weird. It's really strange. And it's like, I don't want to advocate for this. I don't want to advocate for women to seek out men because they have daddy issues. Like, that's not what I want because that never leads to anything. Ask Ashley Darby over there. So it does not lead to what people think it's going to lead to. Yeah. Yeah, because she's advocating for gold digging. She really is. I don't care what they say. Like, we already know she was in a Facebook group for women seeking out older men. And that's just what it is. And I just feel like I don't want to advocate for that. That's really weird. Okay, I agree. I had my sister had endometriosis and fibroids large as a grapefruit. Ooh. Yeah. And it still can happen for sweet tea. We're not saying that it can't, but
I
the
can't see
problem.
Dr. G supporting her through pregnancy like that. I just can't. Or a birthing process like that. I cannot see him supporting her through it. And we have to remember they haven't even known each other barely 2 full years. Like not just the term a short marriage and then being newlyweds, their whole relationship. All of this happened super fast. So I don't trust Sweet Tea's intentions. I don't trust any of it. And I feel like Dr. G's just the type of man that like to have a woman.
Yeah, because to me, like I said, as I told y'all, when this season first came on, I'm not somebody that can lay up in the last woman's house. I can't do that. I'm sorry. We got to move. Like there was a scene in particular of her and Dr. Mimi moving out quad stuff. I'm like, girl, you been in that house like you still got stuff from quads in that house still? Like, what the hell? Like, no. So yeah, I'm sorry. There was motive here to bag Dr. G, and she got what she wanted. And I feel like the complication now is you really can't get him the ulterior motive that you had to get him. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. But we can go ahead and move on to the event because that was the next scene. So the next scene is they have, a group of, men, and it was probably the most sloppiest set of men. There was only one or two in there that I thought were at least remotely attractive. And then you had the ladies, but there really wasn't much age gap. I felt like some of them were younger, but a lot of them were middle aged, like my age. Like a lot of them were like my age getting with men that were like in their 40s. And I'm like, that's not that bad. We're talking about specifically 25 to 30 years apart here. That's not what we were seeing. So, and then they also added Phaedra to the lineup, which I thought was hilarious. And so they put together the things, and Phaedra's having a really good time with this younger French African guy, which I thought was a handsome guy. I thought that he was really tall too. He was at least that man is at least 6'7", 6'8". Because we know Phaedra is short, and the only reason why I know this is because I had someone who was 6'7", and we looked exactly like how he and Phaedra looked. And when he was picking Phaedra up, I was like, yep, I remember them days. So I don't think this is something Phaedra would be serious about. I think this is just for maintenance purposes if it does go anywhere. But I did like that Phaedra did find her somebody out of the mix. There was only one other couple that actually found somebody because I guess they had everybody write the names of the person they had the connection with, and I guess Phaedra and the guy that she had, they had a connection. And there was one other couple. Simone shows up with Heavenly, and I said, Simone, you messy ass lady. Why would you bring this lady to this event where she don't get into it with the two ringleaders of this? So Heavily, she gets a cackling. Hey, everybody. Hey, how everybody doing and everything. And then she moves on over to Sweet Tea. She says hello. And she goes, we got a problem. We got a problem. I'm trying to be cool with you. She says hi to Contessa. And she asks how she's doing. Contessa said, I'm good and my mama good too. And I said, Contessa, see, this is what I be talking about. This is what I be talking about with Contessa, y'all. I can't take Contessa serious sometimes. I'm like, why did you have to say that? Like, if she's coming in peace, you could come in peace too. You ain't got to be petty in this moment. But I get it. It's good TV. So, what'd you say, Miss Day winning? Phaedra and Portia be all over these African men in Africa, and I don't understand. It's African men are too archaic for me. Some of them. But then you have some of them that's trying to get to America, and they know women like Phaedra and Portia will bring them there and do what he needs to do for the right dollar sign. I feel like if Phaedra found her somebody that was worth between 50 and $100 million, Phaedra would be getting married. Same thing with Portia. Portia's still married to Simon, so she can't do that yet. So that's why, for the right money, they'll deal with that. I couldn't, but they'll do it. But moving on from there, so Phaedra and not Phaedra, excuse me, Heavenly and Sweet Tea sit down, and Heavenly gives like this really backdoor apology. I said, Heavenly, if you really didn't want to apologize to this girl, don't apologize to her. She was like, I'm sorry, it is what it is. You said some things, I said some things. She's still on this. And Sweet Tea was like, y'all get her up out of here. I can't deal with her because that's not an apology. That's not nothing we can move forward from. And Heavenly was like, I ain't even do nothing. I'm coming here in peace. I'm trying to. And then so Dr. Mimi sits down next to Heavenly and was like, look, we're trying to keep this, very mature and everything. She goes, this ain't the group for all that. We ain't trying to have no problems with each other. I ain't do nothing to the little girl for her to be this mad and this upset. And Dr. Mimi said, maybe you didn't intentionally mean to do something, but you did something. I don't see why you don't see. Just talking to Heavenly so calm. Heavenly is like not hearing it at all. And it was like, Lord, y'all just had to ruin these people's event. Simone, you messy ass lady, you. But to some extent, y'all, and I know y'all gonna give me hell for this, but I understand where Heavenly is coming from. Because if I'm trying to be on the show with you and I'm trying to start anew, we both were doing things. It wasn't just, Heavenly started, but T responded. Where T messed up is you shouldn't have responded. You should have let Twitter eat that ass up. And that way she would have to come to you with the apology right off rip. But the fact that you played into it, you're just as guilty now. That's why I tell people, you're just as guilty as the person who started it when you choose to engage her. This is why I have a problem with Contessa. Contessa, you're not innocent in your beef with Heavenly. I don't know why we have to keep going through this. You're not innocent. You were on that same YouTube channel with her, talking equally amount of mess with her about the ladies, about your marriage. You did that too. That's why, and I love Contessa. I do. She's one of my favorites, but I can't advocate for her this season. I just cannot. So, Sweet Tea getting tired of these old. She is. She really is. And I will be too, because it's like, y'all, come on. Like, this is not. Heavenly and Contessa, a different issue than Sweet Tea and Heavenly. Yeah, but I feel like Contessa shouldn't have an issue. And that's just me. I feel
It's
like Contessa
different
shouldn't.
issues, but with Sweet Tea being someone new to the show and Contessa being someone who's just a friend of, who was okay with Heavenly prior to the show filming, I think Contessa, that's why the situation is so much different. But Sweet Tea got to understand that when you on reality TV, sometimes you got to film with people who done offended you in ways that you would never expect in your actual day-to-day life. The thing
Yes.
that bothered me about this is Heavenly already stated off camera she has apologized to your husband for her words. And Sweet Tea, you guys agreed to move forward. So now you pulling a contestant and coming back and acting upset, even though you already supposed to be okay with everything. So I'm getting tired of hearing about it. The older women are getting tired of hearing about it. If you feel like your relationship is disrespected so bad, then be a wife, be a boss, and leave the show. You don't have to be around these people. I'm
I'm
tired
saying
of it.
I'm saying she doesn't, and that's the thing about it. That's why I can't really get 100% with Sweet Tea because it's like, man, you signed on to do this show knowing that this could have happened. I really don't care if Haley apologized or not. The things she said about the man are unforgivable.
That's what she does. So,
That's what she
Sweet
does.
Tea, you cannot forgive her. You cannot say, "Oh, I'm not going to forgive," and then expect the rest of the women not to film with someone who's been on this season before you. I'm not saying what Heavenly did and said was forgivable and right, but she's been here before, Sweet Tea, and it's a
Well, no, you
show.
can't
You
change the
gotta film
dynamic
with
of the
her.
show because their allegiance is always going to be with Heavenly
It
because
is.
they're used to her. They're used to this behavior. They're used to her going below the belt. They're used to, you know what, you come for her man, she gonna come for yours. They're used to all of that. And
A
that's
lot
why
of
that's
people
why
watching
this
the show get
is
so
like,
mad. They
mhm,
get so mad at Heavenly and they don't realize she's been on the show so long. So all that anger and annoyance that people have for the BS that Heavenly be doing, that's just them. It's gonna cause them to probably keep her on the show even more.
even
But for the
longer,
other
yeah.
ladies, like
Hmm.
James said, they're used to it and they choose to deal with it, and they're not willing to change the whole dynamic of the show for a woman that's only been with Dr. G, not even barely 2, 3 years. Like
It's not even
it's not
about that.
gonna
They're
happen.
not going to change it because she ruffles feathers with some of the other women and it gets under their skin and they don't know how to deal with it. They're not going to change what's working. White people are not going to change what's working. Heavenly is what's working because she is causing so much animosity with the fans and people of the show. She is causing rifts between the cast members. They love that controversialness. That's why it works. That's why we tune in. Heavenly does act like she was trying to get on the show, but she was too fat when she got the surgery and the lost weight when they allowed her to be on the show. I heard it was different than that. I heard that actually Bravo begged her to be on the show season 2
That's what
because of
I've
the
heard
pilot.
as well.
Yeah, because of the pilot episode. So the pilot episode was never shown. It used to be available on YouTube, but they took it down. I don't know if Mariah did. I don't know who took it down, but I actually saw the pilot, and Heavenly was way worse than this. She read them for absolute filth, every single last one of them. So Bravo begged her to come back. They paid her a lot of money to come back. They're coming on that second season because she said she wouldn't do the show. She didn't like the fight that Mariah and Toya had. She said she just didn't think it was a good look for her. So stop. I mean, yeah, she was. Um, Facts. They're never gonna get rid of Heavenly. And I don't blame them. I would keep her too. I would, honestly, as a business person, I understand why Heavenly works. I do. And then she works outside of the show where she's promoting it on her YouTube channel. One, to get eyes, and then two is to keep it going. So they really should be thanked because I honestly feel like if Heavenly didn't do YouTube, this show would not be as successful if she didn't do YouTube to start these controversies. The show wouldn't be what it is. It just wouldn't. Um, Let me see. None of them liked her, especially Dr. Jackie. Yeah, they did not like each other in the beginning. They didn't. And I feel like Heavenly's hard at first, but then she's soft on the inside. And once you make it to the inside, you then have all of her. You do. And I feel like that's how she moves. Like she's very hard on the exterior, but once you get past all that, you get the soft part, which is once again why I'm mad at Contessa. Because Contessa, you was in. And I felt like you sold your friendship out for your marriage, and you're supposed to. Logically, you're supposed to. But don't then point the finger at her because it's easy to do so because you'll know that everybody would support you. Hmm. I used to like Dr. Heavenly, but she portrays Black women as ghetto, and every other ethnicity of Black women are looking at us crazy. Um,
I feel like the same thing could be said about Toya.
I was gonna say there's a lot of them that have this same outlook. Because
Yeah.
Toya, for sure, I could say the same thing about Toya. Because not every Black woman lives like Toya either, or gets to get out of not working like Toya either. So I feel like that's another stigma. And the same thing can actually be said about Quad too, and to some degree, all of these theatrics and dramatics and getting your way and everything that can be said too. So I think they all and let's not forget who else is on the screen right here. A doctor talking about how Black women complain at the doctor's offices and not to take that serious. Like, yeah, No, a lot of these doctors and other people adjacent to the show that could be said about. I feel like Dr. Contessa is another one that is, giving black women bad names out there. Yeah, so I feel like a lot of that could be said about a lot of them. So it's not just Dr. Heavenly. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I have a love-hate relationship with Dr. Heavenly as well. I understand her strategically. I think that's why I don't get offended by the things she does, because I understand what that's supposed to do. But what I don't like about her is that I don't like at the end of it all, especially with like the situation of poking fun at your friends, like what she was talking about when Quad slept with married men that season. I didn't like that because I kind of felt like that's not something you laugh and joke about. I'm not going to talk about Contessa because I don't think Heavenly was wrong in that. I'm sorry, I don't. And there's nothing anyone can tell me that will change my mind. Heavenly was not wrong in that instance. But there's a lot of things like the whole thing with, if she really was friends with Dr. Jackie, she would remove that video before it got the light of day. Because it's still on her YouTube channel today. So I'm just saying. I don't know, y'all. I'm just a recapper reviewing the show. I am. I'm just a recap reviewing the show. But that was pretty much that event. So now we got to get to Toya's baby shower for the very ugly Birkin. And yeah, so the ladies are getting there. We have now. I know this didn't happen in real life. Everybody drove separately because Heavenly was being messy and filmed Quad's Rolls Royce when she. This is around the time Quad first got a Rolls Royce. That's why they're doing things out of order. But they have Quad and Heavenly ride up together, and they have Dr. Contessa and Dr. Simone riding together. And they're like, why is this a baby shower? Like, Toya's pregnant. And they're all laughing at the convention, like, Toya's not pregnant. Toya can get pregnant. Like, because I guess Toya is approaching 50 pretty soon. So I think that this is not something, that they're saying she can't do. And I was laughing because they're like, what if she really is pregnant? And Dr. Contessa was like, oh, yeah, okay. I think it's for Quad. And Dr. Simone's like, you think it's for Quad? And they're like, yeah, why not? They're like, well, she did get a Rolls Royce, so they're still trying to throw that Rolls Royce on Quad. And I'm like, look, y'all, the man bought the car for the lady. He gets it on wholesale, I'm sure, because he's a car dealer. Y'all do your research. I'm not going to go where people are like, oh, that car could be leased or something like that. I don't believe that. I believe that man bought it on wholesale because you can do that as a car dealer. Where wholesale, you get it for like literally 70% less than what the car is actually worth. And I've seen people do that all the time where they gift it to people and they write it off. I've seen it happen. That's why I know. That's why I laugh at people. They're like, oh, that car is leased. That car's for his business. It's not really hers. And I'm looking at y'all like, y'all don't understand how any business of that works, but okay. Because I believe that car is 100% hers. And I believe if she was smart, she would get the title to make sure she keeps it if they decide to break up. But that's neither here nor there. We're talking about what you saying now. I'm reading your comment. Only thing that was inflammatory was the your mama is a stupid comment. That is literally one of the only things Conehead can claim. Not Conehead. Yeah, but she didn't say fuck your mom and all this stuff. I don't believe Heavenly said that. Now she did say your mama's stupid. She did say that. That's not the same thing, but we can't hold her accountable for that. I feel like it's at least as well because my brother owns a luxury car service and they do the same thing. I do know they do that, but the thing about it is you can't write it off if you lease. And I feel like it's on the show. He has proof he bought it for her, and that's that he can write it off then. You can't write it off if you're leasing them on that stuff. You can't do it like that. You can't write off a lease car. And if they're doing that, then I don't mean to mess up anybody's situation on lease cars and you write them off on taxes, but you can't write off a car on tax. And I think that that's why he showed it on the show because he can then prove to the IRS that he bought the car and that he bought it as a gift. He had it in a red boat and it's shown on national TV. That's why I feel like it's hers because I would be like, that's stupid if you didn't do it that way. It's stupid. Moving on from there, yes, they go up in there and Toya is just a cheese and she cut tomatoes, just smiling and just happy about everything. And so Contessa points out, well, I know this ain't for Quad because Quad is over here drinking. So Toya, is this for you? She was like, yeah, it's me. Y'all gonna have tea. We gonna go eat and everything. Toya just a smile. So Sweet Tea and Dr. Mimi are the last to show up, and Dr. Heavily actually says hi to Letitia and they hug. And everybody's like, whoa, what just happened? And Dr. Heavily said, well, we went out after the event and we had a really good time. I apologized to Dr. G, really took accountability for the things that I said. It opened up the floodgate for Sweet Tea to do the same, and we're good now. And Sweet Tea says in her confessional, she said, yeah, it was a dry, I'm sorry, but I'll take what I can get at this point from this lady. It is what it is. So they're okay. And then Dr. Heaven said, now me and Contessa, we're a different situation. And I'm glad she said that like that because they are. I feel like Dr. Heaven does not owe Contessa an apology. She doesn't. Not anymore. I know she has apologized already for what she did, but she owes her nothing more further from this. Now the F your mom, now the your mama comment, if y'all want to say, well, James, she owe her an apology for that, fine. But then Contessa owes her an apology for letting out what she let out too. I'm just saying. So yeah, they have definitely some differences to work out. Absolutely. So it's coming to the point where Toya is about to announce this purse. So she has Dr. Contessa unveil the case, and it's a glass case, and Toya comes in with the Birkin wrapped in a blanket and is patting it as if it's a baby. And I'm like, Mrs. Best, if you don't get Toya right now, get Toya. Because why did she walk into that room patting that purse like that?
Toya's been on this show since the beginning. We haven't seen her do much, like to promote businesses, events, things of that nature. What I feel Toya did for this bag was uncouth, gave new money. I agreed with what Simone said best. Those are the silent joys we have, you know. Um, but I want to see Toya do more. Toya's educated. She don't act like it all the time, but she is educated, and she's got a lot that she could show and that she could do. She just chooses not, which I get. I get that. I've been at home doing the housewife thing, so I get that. But this party was it was just very out of touch. I definitely think it's something to be proud of, yes, but you spent way more than that to build a house. Why didn't you throw like something for that? So I don't know.
I don't know. I
I'll say
feel like
this. I expect for Toya to do something like this. Even her son knew that this was not the
it
move.
was his facial expressions in the back for me. Him shaking his head.
A 14-year-old
Yeah,
knew.
he
He said,
said when he said
"Oh, I
that person,
love my mama, but she a dingbat." I read his thoughts
right? No,
because
when he said that person ugly anyway, I was on the floor because
it
it was.
is. Like, I'm telling you, she picked the purse that was available that she could afford.
It's an ugly person. I'm sorry, it is very ugly. Like I don't want to say that about Ernest purses, but that is ugly. And like Nia Green as is Toya board. Yes, she very much so is. Toya gives me she don't do nothing but watch General Hospital, eat popcorn, and then go pick up the kids from school, make sure they do their homework, throw a chicken in the oven, and then come back and watch Ratchet Reality TV with us.
Contessa had me laughing. Contessa said, "I took off of work for this." I said, "You know what? Toya
That's
doesn't
what I get.
understand what it means to have to take off work anymore."
Especially
So
when you do private practice. Like Contessa does private practice, y'all. That's a business. That's something you have to continue to build and build and build and build because all it takes is one quality of care service to go wrong and you're done. You're done. So Contessa knows that she got to keep the foot moving, especially when we learned that Dr. Scott said out of his own mouth that Contessa's there 70% of the time and he only there about a good 40. So that goes to show right there, she's the brunt of the big money that they're making. Unless he got millionaire clients and he only could be there because I know a doctor like that too in Scottsdale. He only has like literally 4 clients out the whole month because they pay him a good grip of money to do what he does. I knew a dentist like this too. That's why I was like, okay, he could be doing that, but I don't buy it. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. But they talk about, Simone really was in her feelings. She was like, I don't understand. Like, yeah, I got a couple of Hermes purses. Contessa said, Hermes, Simone, Hermes. She goes, Contessa, it's gonna be what the fuck I want it to be. I'm gonna call it Herms in a minute if you don't call it. Stop playing with me. And I was on the floor laughing at Simone. I said, Simone, not Herms. And everyone was like, well, I mean, yeah, I have a Birkin too. I guess it's an accomplishment. I guess it's just a purse at the end of the day. And Heather said, I ain't got none of that. I ain't got no, because Heather get her purses from Ross and shit like regular people. So, of course, she gonna, speak like that. But, you know, it was a funny scene. It really was because it was so stupid. But, this is what they filmed. I just wanted to see the production's faces when Toya was feeding what she's about to do. And I don't know if they probably thought it was going to be a great idea or if they're like, Toya, really? But we got to film because it's Tuesday and it's your day to film. So I guess this is what you give us. I want to know. I just want to know. I just want to be found on for that conversation. Am I missing anything in this conversation, Mrs. Bess? I think that was it, right?
There was nothing else. The episode ended before they could get like further.
Okay, so yeah, so the next episode is the trip to Key West. I don't know why they won't take them overseas or on a great vacation like they do the housewives. I don't know why they don't do that to
They
Mary.
don't have the time. These women actually work in fields that require them to be there versus delegating like other entrepreneurs. A lot of them are in medicine or have spouses that are in medicine and small kids. So I think it's harder to get them out of the country for that reason. But married to medicine trips never fail us. So I'm interested to see what happens.
I am too. I'm wondering um directly what's gonna happen with Dr. G and King. I really do. I want to see how that's gonna happen and what's gonna be that cause of fight between them. Like, what do you think is gonna happen? What do you think they're gonna fight about?
I feel like Dr. G probably made some comments that were unnecessary. Whenever Quad is around, you could tell he's activated and triggered. We have to remember Quad left him, not the other way around.
Right.
And she said F her stuff because apparently some of her stuff was still in that house. She said, I want to get the hell away from you. So I definitely feel like it's something that Dr. G said to someone else about her or comments that he makes. He can be really disrespectful and then act like, play innocent. I think he manipulates people with his education personally, but I feel like that's all it is. I don't feel like Quad will even acknowledge him like that.
But
She's
she
very,
hasn't. Yeah, she hasn't this entire time.
it's
So
been him and Sweet Tea talking about her constantly. So
especially Sweetie, and I understand that. Like when she
she
said this box,
jealous.
when she said this box is quad stuff, and I'm like, why do you still have quad stuff in that house? When I tell y'all, if I got to move into Quad's old house, all of Quad shit will be gone within the first 2 days I'm there. Well, I'm saying I'm looking in every closet, every storage closet, every personal closet, everything, and I'm gonna hire a moving van and I'm gonna send it right over to her house. Now that's how petty I would be. But that's just me. But that was Married to Medicine, y'all. It was a good episode. It really was. It was a good episode. I'm glad that Dr. Heavenly and Sweet Tea did make some sort of amends. I don't know if it lasts long or not, but I'm glad that they were able to because that was something big to come back from. So I'm glad that she did that, and I can't wait to. She hates Quad, and Quad pays them dust. She does. Like Quad pays them dust all the time. She keeps their name in her mouth as well. I'm trying to think when.
She hasn't really said
I
anything
was gonna say
about them at
when
all.
did she do that? Like, because the only thing I can think of is when they were in the car on her birthday and she was in the Rolls Royce. I remember they asked who that old lady was, and she said, "Well, that's my ex-husband's current wife." And
That
I'm
was
trying to think of
really
the time.
it.
Yeah, that was the other yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially when she was talking to her boyfriend about. Oh, okay. That I see what
That's
you're saying.
after these people done downed her for a season online and confessionals. So
I
she
kind of
doesn't
felt
really
like
say
I kind
too
of felt like
much
she was
about them.
pre-warning him that you're going to be in a situation with my ex-husband. Like, are you going to speak, or is there something? Like, I feel like she was prepping him more so than she was talking about them. I don't feel like that was the same thing. I don't. I don't feel like that was the same thing. I think she was just prepping him for because I would want to be prepped if I'm going to be in a situation, even though I know I'm in a situation, but I need to know the exact moments of when I'm going to do it.
Yeah, because we done see Dr. G down her cooking, Sweet Tea talk about how she's better. We done see Sweet Tea talk crap about her to the other ladies, to her family, on the internet, on her lives. And then Dr. G, most of his stuff, he just comments on confessionals or when she's around, he starts saying all these crazy things. But, Quad throws her little shade usually when responding to stuff that they've done. But child, at this point, I would say it's more so their
It's
end.
more so them than it is her. I don't see her doing it as much as they do it. Quana said that was her sweet number. She took everything that belonged to her, including the lamb chops out the freezer. That's what I heard. So I heard it was hers. They both do the same thing because on Dr. She be on Dr. Heavenly's live as well. Um, yeah, she does go on Dr. Heavenly's live. She does. And I remember on season, okay, if you're talking about last season, then yes, I'm a 100% agree with you. If we're talking about last season, absolutely. Quad was on Heavenly's live being messy. Definitely. Definitely, definitely, definitely. But if we're talking about this season, I don't see Quad doing the same thing. I don't believe Miss Ghetto. I do. She don't like to say that, but he don't like him. Y'all really think Dr. G buy furniture? Y'all really think he really gonna put out the money to buy a sleep number? I don't believe that. If he was that kind of man, they wouldn't be living in that same house.
Yep. Because why? I wouldn't
Yeah,
even accept that. You gonna put me in the same house, your ex? You could keep the
this the
house
comment
if you
right here.
really want to keep it, but we gonna buy our own new marital home.
This the comment right here.
Yeah, that's pretty much what's happening. You could
Yes,
sense it.
yes. No, she actually furnished the house and his. No, okay,
I
okay.
would want my own house.
I want my own house, regardless of new furniture. I want my own shit.
Right.
Like I don't care. But I get you
Especially if
put
you
in there
already
with it.
coming on the platform that he was on
She's
publicly with
she's
his
starting. Yeah.
ex-wife. It's like the furniture doesn't change the integrity of the house. I want Sweet Tea, like, especially if you're gonna be coaching other women in these so-called age gap relationships, make the spot your own. Cause from what it looked like, she don't have too much of a say so, and we know how Dr. G can be controlling and all of that.
No, I'm talking about cute, cheap furniture in the house and his office. Are you talking about prior seasons before this, or
Likely, back when they were married, she may
yeah?
have
Well, okay, well,
furnished the
they didn't
house.
have the money they got today, so that would make sense to me if that's what you're talking about. They didn't have that kind of money, and yes, Quad did furnish, and she cleaned up the office in the beginning stages of his practice. She did. She admitted that on TV. So yeah, I would. Yeah, that's me too. I need all new stuff. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I remember. But what I'm saying is, I need a new. I need a new. I don't need the same old with you in your last one. I need a whole new house. We can buy a whole new house, is what I'm saying. We can buy a whole new house. Ain't no furniture gonna change the integrity. Sweet Tea needs to focus on building her own identity on the show. She's been entirely unremarkable. I don't like or dislike her. She's just there. That's how I feel about her. This is exactly how I feel. I feel like she's just there, and it's just like, okay, we acknowledge her because we need a new cast member until we can figure out Phaedra and Dr. Contessa. Because we know Phaedra has left the show, and we know Dr. Contessa, we want her to get that slot. But I need them to come correct. But yeah, she's just there. I just feel like she was something that Dr. Heavenly thought she would have fun with. If we're really being honest, Dr. Heavenly thought she was gonna have fun throwing this girl up in Quad's face to see how Quad was gonna react because it would have been good for the show. We can all admit that Heavenly was wrong for doing that, but at the same time, that's Dr. Heavenly. Like I take her for what she is, and that's exactly what she does. She does things at other people's expenses, and then as I say, y'all already know she does this. That's why I said, why do y'all get mad at her? Y'all know she does this. Y'all know she does it. Is it right? No. But at the same time, reality TV has to sell in order for you to keep continuing to get the check. So I get why she does what she does. I do. I get it. From business standpoint, I get it. Now, could I be on the show with Dr. Heavenly? Yes. Because I would know what she's doing and I would play right along with her. I'd probably be worse than she was because I know what I'm doing too. And that's why I'm saying these other women, they got to get off their soapboxes and start playing with her ass back and that's what will get her to stop doing it. Once she see everybody start doing what she does, then she will stop doing it. I promise you, she will. Uh-huh. Exactly. And they know that she do it. That's why I say y'all got to play the same game. Y'all can't get mad because that's what she want. If y'all play the same game back on her, she not gonna do this. I promise y'all, she will not do this. Also, do y'all talk about Karen the show? Who? Are you talking about Real Housewives of Potomac? Oh, did we talk about? I think you mean did we talk about Karen leaving the show? I haven't talked about it yet. I did mention it in my live that she left the show, but I didn't say it was like a concrete thing yet. So I haven't done like my opinion on her leaving yet. I haven't said anything. If you want me to do a video like that, I definitely will. If you want me to give my opinion on Karen quitting the show, I definitely will. But y'all got to comment that in the comments. If y'all want me to do it up, I thought it came out that it was fake. I don't know. That's why I'm saying that, like, we can actually have fun with it. If y'all want me to tell y'all what my opinion is, if I think Karen should stay on the show versus quitting, let me know, and I definitely will give my opinion. I definitely will. I'll save that for another video. But this video is a little bit too long for my thoughts on Married to Medicine. So, yes, a lot of people are asking about that because I think she is a coward. She's like a coward.
I said it a bitch day winning when the DUI happened in the update video. I said that Karen's probably not going to come back to the show. James also said it. She got caught in a lie, and now instead of facing it, she's running away. You said you would be vindicated and took a DUI of all things to trial. And now you think that running a rehab is going to lessen your sentence. And it may lessen your sentence, but she's definitely lost the respect of, I think, a lot of people. It's
I
going to be
agree.
hard for her to recover.
I agree. I 100% agree with you. And I think that for me, like I said, I'm going to give my opinion, but you guys got to comment y'all want that. Like, I definitely will do it. I have the time to do it. So if you guys want me to give my opinion on whether I think Karen should stay on the show or leave the show, we will do that. But in the meantime, I need to find articles and I need to go to Karen herself on her page or something. I need to read her statement to say that she has quit the show because I don't know if I believe it. But that's it, you guys. Like, comment, and subscribe to Married to Medicine. Tell me your thoughts. We don't always have to agree. We can love and dislike the same people on the show. It's completely fine. And we'll still love each other at the end of it all. But that's it. Like, comment, subscribe. This week coming up, we'll be on Mrs. Best channel for Love and Hip Hop, Miami and Atlanta. So make sure you guys are subscribed to her if you're not at all. Please subscribe to Mrs. Bestwell. Her information is in my description box so you can catch those lives as well. And we'll be back on my channel for an updates video. And thank you for coming. We appreciate you. Spread the word because we enjoy you as well. But yes, you guys, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City's reunions coming up. And remember, we are watching, but we need to look at the best dress and worst dress because I gave you guys mine in a previous recap that we did talking about Karen and also something else. So we'll see if mine has changed. Remember, my best dress was between Angie and Brittany, and my worst dress was Mary and Meredith. So make sure you guys look at the reunion show and see if yours is still the same. So I will catch you guys on my next live. Have a good night, y'all. Bye-bye.